Teachings from Kuthumi's Hands, the Unknown Nazarene, the Last Supper. The Passover meal that has been called the Last Supper was, indeed, the last collective meal that would be shared between the Master and his disciples, the last of many that they'd had. Those chosen to participate were select because of a final message of great importance that he wished to impart to them. They were all initiates upon the path and could be entrusted with the message. There were, of course, the 12 apostles, but also Mary his mother, the sisters of Bethany, Martha and Miriam, and some of the Essene teachers. There were many lessons of which Jehoshua reminded those present during those last hours, and they were teachings of the mysteries and ageless wisdoms taught in the centers of initiation for ages. Jesus did not create something new in the symbolic breaking of the bread and the drinking of the wine, which came to be called the sacrament of the Eucharist. This was something that had existed in different forms down through the ages in the mystery schools of the universal wisdoms, and he was reminding those present about it, not teaching something new to them. He then went on to remind them of the festivals of the passage of the seasons, and he spoke of the preparing of the soil and the planting, the bursting forth of the plants, of their coming to maturity, of the harvest which is the giving of the life of the plant, and of its return of the seed back into the earth in order to perpetuate life. Hilarion called this symbolic teaching the age-old mystery of the precession of the equinoxes, 25,868-year cycle through the 12 signs of the zodiac, and which he designated as the giver of life on this planet. Jesus spoke of the sacrifice made by Mother Earth in order for the spring to come, and then he went around the room kneeling before each one there and washing their feet while speaking of the need for service to others. He admonished all present that any who seek to be teachers and leaders must also be of service in humility to others, and the Master, overshadowed by the Christ, demonstrated that necessary humility by washing the feet of all the disciples who were there. Peter, incidentally, refused to allow his Master to wash his feet. Jesus told them, "He that would be greatest among you should be the servant of all." When he had finished speaking of those things, he reminded his listeners that the bread which comes from the staff of life, wheat, is the result of what has been sacrificed. He took the bread, broke it, and said these words, "I too am now come to that point in my life when I am sacrificed. Therefore, eat this bread now with me, and whenever you do so again remember this time." Then he took the wine made from the grape, which he equated with the blood in the human body, and he said, "That which is sacrificed, that which gives of itself in sacrifice, gives its blood, falling upon the earth in order to ensure that all of life will continue. This I too shall do. And whenever you drink the wine again, remember that." Jesus was referring to a worldwide folk myth which had originated as an essential teaching in all of the many centers of initiation called mystery schools around the Mediterranean basin and the British Isles. This was the mystery of the kingly sacrifice in which the blood of the Supreme Head is shed in order to purchase extension of life for the earth and all who dwell upon her. Throughout the Piscean age, the symbol of the Church that founded itself upon that fourth initiation theme has been that of the Christ, the King, hanging upon the cross and giving of his body and blood in sacrifice. Hilarion said that the mystery of the crucifixion was that the Christ, through Jesus, was going through the ritual reenactment of the sacrifice of the King, in which the innermost essence of his being descended into the earth, wherein the earth took him into herself as in a divine marriage, a marriage which represented the joining of the realm of spirit with the manifest plane of form. This ritual was meant to point to the fact of reincarnation, spirit entering into the cycle of incarnations upon this earth. This is not recorded anywhere, but Jesus invited all those present in the upper room to join with him in the dance which celebrates the passage of the King into the earth and the eventual ascension into the realms of spirit. In the great Gothic cathedrals of Europe built by the Knights Templar, such as Chartres, a labyrinthine form was put into the paving stones of the floor so that people could dance their celebration of the blood of the Christ entering into the earth as a remembrance of the dance which Christ himself performed at the Last Supper. This used to be a part of the Eucharistic celebration. The crucifixion drama that followed was the ultimate demonstration of total sacrifice, total renunciation of all human desires, and the Christ Logos, through Jesus and through Maitreya, vicariously took upon itself a tremendous amount of karma and suffering for all of humanity in the shedding of that sacred blood upon the earth. The sacrifice of the King was made for our atonement, to assure our ability to move beyond the animal nature, locked in karmic retributions, and into the realm of spirit ascended from the wheel of rebirth, thus becoming at one with our soul. Endless rounds of karmic debts were saved in order to set those of humanity, willing to accept, upon a path more easily sustained without that indebtedness, and that is the path of initiation which leads eventually to the ascension. The blood of the Lord purchased a new foothold for humanity toward the lofty summit of our dreams. Are you in need of the healing energies of the Ascended Master Kuthumi? Visit KuthumiHands.com.